gonna have Paradox versus Hurt next, which is
Sounds cool to me.
I don't know what race Hurt plays. I'm trying to see if
He's
I can figure
Terra.
that out. Okay, so we're gonna have another TVT. Nice. So Hurt getting a little bit of inside information on Paradox's style. Although I guess he said he was already pretty well aware of how he plays.
Okay, hang tight, guys.
Oh wait. Whoops.
Yeah.
I guess I'm playing.
Do you want me to here?
It's fine. You guys can go ahead and cast this. I'm probably gonna stop streaming, but I'll host you up.
No,
And,
you're doing great, man. You should join us. Where did you just leave, or what happened? Did
Oh,
I click by mistake or something?
Oh no, he left the lobby. I think accidentally.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Does he
You want
want
me
to join?
You want me to come back?
Yeah, man.
All right. Here I come.
Rage comes to save the day.
Hooray! Yeah, if you want to just make me an observer.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. If you want to host it up though, it's just twitch.tv/Storm Gaming.
Storm Gaming.
Okay, we're
And-
missing Paradox. He hasn't accepted yet. Let me re-add him again.
And he's probably gotta get all the adrenaline out after taking such an intense game. Oh.
Yep. It was an intense game. Alright, guys. Let's see if they're ready.
Yeah. Well, you gotta switch them around. Ragepoo's playing.
There you go.
Yay! I mean, it'd be interesting to watch Ragepoo play. I just don't know how competitive
I
it would be.
would suck. I mean, with the way that they played, if they let me two base, I don't know. It might be. It might be. Yeah, I'll play Paradox because he'll let me two base.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, the countdown has begun though, so we're getting into another game here. I've lost track of how many games we've casted so far. I think this is like the fourth or fifth. But,
We have a lot more than that, right? I mean, I had 2 by myself. Paradox
Maybe.
here.
That's what I'm saying. I've lost
This is
track.
his 3rd game.
Like I said, I've lost track, so maybe it's more like 7 or 8 games. When did I start? Yeah, I guess I was at like we started at 6:30 and it's been for 2 hours. So each game, yeah, I've probably been about 7 or 8 games. But anyways, game number maybe 8 or 9 or 6 or whatever is being played between Hurt and Paradox. So spawning here at the top right, we have our Terran player looking good in cyan. He is HurtnTime. Yeah. And on the bottom right hand of Catalina, who we just saw take a game. His name is Paradox.
Paradox.
Paradox! Indeed. No paradoxes with him though. Just playing pretty standard. Nothing too crazy. And we're having another mirror TVT again. So I hope you're excited. Shout out to Blake HG, who just hopped in the chat, was one of our competitor in the league as well. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. And GG's. Paradox. I don't know what they were talking about. I wasn't fully paying attention. But one thing to note is we have the gas geyser before the barracks again here. Well, coming out of HurtnTime. Similar build that Seth did in that last game. So we might be seeing the same thing. Trying to maybe improve upon where Seth left off.
Yeah, it's just that he didn't drop properly there. That really ruined things for him the rest of the game.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, maybe HurtnTime can do it better.
Yeah, watching it, he's like, I know what to do. I'll just drop or won't drop.
Yeah.
Those map hacks though.
Yeah, those will help, right?
That rally.
Oh, well, he's got it queued up, so he's queuing up to go see the wrong
I
base
know,
in
I
the
know,
video.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Just making sure. But yeah, actually,
Don't worry,
unfortunately-
no accusations.
Yeah.
What
Unfortunately,
race do you play, buddy?
Protoss.
Oh, you're a Protoss. So both of you guys are Protoss players. Awesome.
Sort of. I've been playing. Like I said, I've been trying to play more random lately. So I haven't.
My name is
straight
Ragey
up-
Mothership.
There you go. Or Mothership Poo. That should be our casting Archon name. Mother Poo.
SC Mothership and Mothership.
That's like the Overlord poop.
when they drop creep all over. I have to show you this parody song I made a long time ago about It's called Chocolate Rain, and I'll just leave you at that.
Oh,
It's a StarCraft 2 parody.
Ew.
I'd like to see that. I don't want to see that, but I'd like to hear it.
You don't want to hear it, actually.
When an overload flies over your natural chocolate rain.
Pretty much, yeah. HurtnTime saying he's getting a little bit of lag. Unfortunately, everything's been crystal smooth on the observing end. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
dude, it looks
HurtnTime
great.
getting a free scout off. That's actually a pretty big thing to note here. HurtnTime just walks right into the main of Paradox and gets to see everything.
Yeah.
Now, first
Well,
Reaper out
actually,
of,
if you look at his vision, he missed it.
wait, let's see what he saw.
Paradox missed the.
Oh, he missed the second gas.
Yeah.
But he saw the factory. But wow, I can't believe he actually misses the second gas. Anyways, that Reaper's coming in now, doing a little dancing about. There's 2 Reapers in the main here by Paradox, trying to do double micro here. Is he gonna get 2 worker kills? Oh, 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many workers, but he's losing all of his Reapers though. How many workers in total? 4 went down. Nice. So he must have gotten one a little bit earlier in that attack too. But now Hellions are out for HurtnTime, and Paradox just lost both of his Reapers. That's a bit of commitment into his barracks. That's time committed in there as well as resources. I don't know if it paid off well. It's a ping randomly. Not sure what that's about.
It's me. Look over
Nice.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
do see
I wonder
it,
why
yeah.
that is. He just maybe forgot.
Yeah, just an
I
SCP
think
over
he's
there.
trying some sneaky business.
Possibly. What's he gonna do? Proxy
Proxy at DT shrines.
No, he just might. He might hit an expo over there.
That's
Yeah,
that's a good point.
that's a good point.
Yeah, actually, really good point. We're all here being silly, and you're thinking of the logical things. Anyways, actually, we might see HurtnTime just go up through here, and maybe be able to. Well, actually, the production here will be more than enough to stop these 2 Marines. I'd say maybe he can get a Marine kill or something, but nope. Good micro here by Paradox.
Same build for Paradox the last 3 games for him. 2 factories.
I guess he's feeling like it's pretty smart. We're seeing Banshees coming out of HurtnTime here, and still following it up with those Hellions. So he's really committing to this 1-1-1. And a Widowmine coming out as well. So the Widowmine's going to help to actually defend against the Banshee, which is pretty nice. And he's got that. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, he does actually have that NGB already completed, so he can get the missile turret out. I feel like he got the NGB more quickly this game. Or maybe it's because the Banshee comes out more later than the Widowmine Hellion or the Widowmine medevac drop.
Take note that the SCV from earlier went home.
Yeah, I did see him.
I
go
think
home.
he might have just forgotten it. I was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Or he decides, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're seeing him just expand naturally at his natural. And no more Banshees are being produced, but Cloak is still on the way. That first Banshee's coming in, but there's already a missile turret there, and oh my gosh, there are 2 Widowmine? Okay, no, only one's not burrowed. Anyways, that Banshee getting to that sweet spot, that Widowmine coming forward, is gonna land.
He didn't get it in time. Ugh.
Yeah, good micro
Is it
there by
close
Hurt.
enough though? I don't even think it's close enough to do anything anyway.
Wow. That Banshee is like living life on the edge against that Widowmine right there, by the way.
What is this?
Talk about an
overkill of distance?
overreaction. 3 turrets.
But it
That's
gets him 3
hilarious.
more kills though, oddly enough. 4 now. Marines coming in. Good micro here out of HurtnTime, man.
75 free minerals for HurtnTime just on the cancel.
Yeah, he's still behind worker-wise though by 5 now. But hey, that's putting him back in the lead again. He did expand later, so he needs to do damage as part of this build. And there's actually just a lot of Marines. Oh man, if he can dice these Marines, they're lined up and he can kill that siege tank. This is actually a really good position here for HurtnTime. Oh, that Widowmine though could be the saving grace here. We'll see. Such good positioning on that Banshee though. Just barely out of range every single time.
And now that Paradox has held, since he does have that saturation of the second base, he's going to be in a good position. He should go ahead and go for his 3rd or do a counter.
Yeah, and he also has that mech army too, which in general, if you can kind of just get that going and kind of snowballing, is a bit of a stronger composition compared to this Bioforce that we're seeing out of HurtnTime, who's down by 15 supply. But he's actually adding on 2 more factories, so I guess he wants to play that mech game too. But he's been mining gas for a little bit less, so I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see
if
how
you
this
guys know
goes.
HurtnTime loves going mech. So to see 2 guys here sort of going mech is pretty cool.
Yeah. clearly with that Banshee control, he's very used to mech, as we're seeing him purposely going for these Marines to try and take out these siege tanks. And hey, he's done it. These are lone siege tanks. Is he going to be able to get the kills that he needs though? Because again, losing these siege tanks are expensive, and that can be a pretty big pickup. That Banshee out on its own, getting more Marine kills. Again, more stuff is just being rallied across the map too, which actually kind of tells a little bit of HurtnTime what Paradox's plans are. If he's just rallying straight across the map, it's like, oh, I wonder if he was going for an attack. Banshee goes down though.
Oh,
and 2 Hellions.
A little late.
And double gas now coming down at the natural for HurtnTime too, so which you'll need for this. Wow, he's got actually double armory and double or triple factory.
He might be having some internet issues or lag issues. That's why I'm surprised he lost that Banshee.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he lost that one too, because all he had to do was pull it back. They're both saying it's a little bit choppy for sure. Again, I haven't noticed anything in here, so it's either internet or BNet having issues. But
look at the army supply now.
Ooh, yeah, 8 army supply to 32 of Paradox.
Yeah,
Paradox
dude.
pretty much. Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll drop off, see if that helps.
Okay.
You guys are casting anyway.
Sure.
I
don't think
I
it's
doubt
you, though.
it.
You've
I
been
doubt
in every
it's you,
single
but-
game. Yeah, you've been in every single game though.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
really doubt it,
I'm not really casting. So, but let's see if it helps. Every little bit helps.
All right. Try it. Turn all the applications off in the background.
Well,
Close those 8 windows of the
Maybe
stream.
not. Maybe he thinks it's something else. We'll see.
Oh. Seems okay. Go, go. All right, sweet. Back in the game. But yeah, so we have the double armory coming out here. Triple factor. I want to see if does Paradox have double armory as well. No. Just now throwing down his first armory. So that's an advantage that HurtnTime has if he can kind of sit back. But again, we were talking about how much more army supply Paradox has, and he's starting to move out. And it's almost pure siege tank.
I don't know if HurtnTime did it on purpose, but he does have a double armory.
Yeah, he does. So that means he can get his upgrades out, 2 at a time. Which means
He's
he'll
not
be able
upgrading
to-
anything though.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was hoping. Yeah, he's not really building too much of his factories right now either, other than just 2 Hellions. I guess he's kind of feeling tight on cash. Yeah, he is pretty tight on gas as well too. Gas is kind of a limiting factor, but starts production on more siege tanks, and he gets that +1 attack now started. So there we go. And a 3rd base has just begun. So HurtnTime, if he can kind of defend these 3 bases, get his economy up. He's still behind by a few workers, as he's kind of been through this whole game. Maybe there's a chance for him to come back with the upgraded lead. We'll see, though.
I think Paradox has had enough of that Banshee. He's queuing up 2 Vikings.
There we go. That's probably a pretty wise decision. Even he himself could add in Banshees if he wanted to. I mean, he was going for that mech style. But, nope, going for Thors instead. Which I think is pretty smart, because it pretty much is going to negate any sort of Banshee plans later, and it'll help him get air control with the few Vikings that he's got. Oh, that's funny. Those Vikings are like the only anti-air, save for a couple Marines for Paradox, but hey, he's able to get rid of, to hold back anything on the ground, which is really the only force that he has to worry about.
Looks like Paradox has some rally issues at his 3rd expand. He's got a couple units just kind of chilling, not really doing anything.
Union break, that's fine. They get their coffee breaks. Alright, there's only 1 Marine out, so again, these Vikings are going to have free reign, and the siege tanks on the ground are just going to kind of clean up, and yeah, these siege tanks for HurtnTime are in really good positioning again. He's trying to do what he can with the Banshees, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold this 3rd base.
No, he's lost too many Banshees, and I think now that he has the total control of the 3rd, Paradox is going to be able to sit back. Could even go for a 4th if he wanted to, but he's got such a commanding presence now. He might even be able to just go in and finish it.
Yeah, I think he could. There's only, 2 siege tanks and 2 Hellions, and a Viking now out, and Paradox is about double supply of HurtnTime. So that's pretty much all this game calls for, is a nice little 1A. But we'll see, man. We've seen games also where people just kind of sit on their butt and let their opponent mass up, and sometimes they can come back.
They can. I mean, he's got double the army supply. If anything, he should go right now.
Yeah.
He would be able to do it.
He would, being a little bit hesitant. It looks like he's trying to go ahead and drop a couple siege tanks in the main. Maybe wanting to show a little bit of a flurry, you know, kind of showing off his skills. Show me your moves. And maybe we'll do like a multi-pronged attack. Either way, I think it's going to be really successful because I don't really think much of this is going to be able to get too close to him. Although the siege tanks are really low.
He sure chose the lowest hit point ones.
Yeah, they're in the back. Those Hellions trying to get up close, turning into Hellbats, getting some of these siege tanks. Now we're seeing that move into the natural as that drop in the main gets cleaned up. But now there's nothing really here to... Oh, there's actually 3 siege tanks. Now he's kind of reconsidering it. And again, this is what I was talking about. If you just kind of let your opponent sit in their butt, kind of mass up. Now he's got a lot of siege tanks in good positioning.
He does.
I still believe he's way too far economically since Paradox is continuing to expand behind this. He's continuing up with his upgrades. We're even seeing bio transition actually come out of him. It's actually really important to mention, even though the game probably, you know... Oh, 4 nukes! Wait a second. 4 nukes are being produced. I think we know how this game's gonna end.
Nice. I've never seen Nuke play. Ever.
Well, I mean, if you can't
sweet.
If your opponent won't move, you make him move, I guess. The Banshee's coming out doing its job, though. Oh, gonna get taken out by Widowmine. And the force here by Paradox out in front is kind of weak, and we're seeing the supplies starting to kind of catch up here between the 2 players. But, again, I think it's just because Paradox wants to nuke them out. Ha! Auto turret.
The Raven's trying to place in to hit those siege tanks, but
now Thor.
Nice.
Oh, he's actually gonna get one too. Nice. Oh, we're actually seeing a really big move out. And this is actually enough units here to clean up these siege tanks at the bottom. Still making pretty good trade. Paradox is focus firing on those Hellbats too, and is actually going to be able to maybe hold his position here on the low ground. Maybe no. Never mind. Everyone's blown to pieces. +2 attack is coming out for the mech units of HurtnTime, but Paradox is kind of...
God.
Yeah, he's completely gotten out of that mech, and he's going complete bio.
He's got how many buildings? Like...
Got a lot of buildings.
Oh my god, hold on.
He's I think there's just buildings at this point. That's where all of his money's gone.
He's got 13 barracks. That's
nice.
Crazy.
He can build like an eighth of his army in one production cycle at this point.
His macro is pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Well, he is on 4 base.
Yeah, he can afford it. That's the thing. Although he has been neglecting actually building army in order to produce all these structures. Oh! Ha!
Oh, man.
Those ghosts sniping that medevac to the sky. It's kind of hilarious. Not actually using the ability to snipe. And,
I just want to see the nukes.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm waiting for. I mean, that's basically what Paradox is waiting for too. He's got the ghost set up here in the medevac. The problem is no, right into the turrets. He's trying to lay down the nukes now. I think. We should hear him go.
Yeah, but he did it right next to a missile turret. What is he doing?
In a siege tank. Oh gosh.
No.
Oh, well, the 1A at the natural again. Some good micro. Now we're seeing stutter step. That's a lot of workers. Too bad workers aren't combat units.
I mean, they could be. They kind of are.
Yeah, I guess when they're attacking, they become combat units.
GG!
GG by Paradox. Again,
wow.
Really solid game. Congrats.
Yeah. I mean, that failed nuke, though.
Yeah, that was a little saddening.
Oh, man.
Someday, Reggie, we'll get the nuke of our dreams.
It would have been great.
At least he tried to give us something.
Yeah,
I think he should have done it right at the natural instead of where he did it.
Or 2 places, since he has 4 of them.
Yeah. That's right. He should just had a nuke at every single base. Since he had 4, right? Just nuke one of the empty bases even though there's not actually a base there.
That's true. Well, I'm looking around to see if we have another game, but it doesn't look like it. I think we're pretty done.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through my match history now. I just want to figure out every single game that I've casted.
Yeah, and if you look at... we have a busy night here. We have a lot of people here on the channel. Just as a background, this is the Storm's official channel. Official being, it's been around forever, since Brood War days. And we just, it was before we named Storm, but this is a group of us that have been playing forever, so...
Nice. Sweet. So, I guess if that's it for the games, are you sure there's no more matches?
I'm looking
Before we-
around. I mean,
Before we say
it's
goodbye to everybody.
yeah. There's a couple of guys here that we need for the other matches, but they're not around yet. But they have the rest of the weekend, till the weekend to finish it up. Then we can do the playoffs.
Awesome.
So
Sweet.
and that's gonna be awesome. So obviously, Mr. Pooh here, if you're welcome to join us for the next ones.
Mr. Boo. Okay.
Well, I like your introduction. Actually, your intro, the game before was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Reggie's
Yeah.
a fun, charismatic dude. He's my buddy.
All right. Well, all right, guys. I think that's it for now. So thanks for casting. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
It was
And,
mostly Mothership.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't do jack shit.
he did the bulk of the work for us.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me cast the games. I think, like you mentioned, that there are going to be still more games potentially casted. So keep eyes out
Yeah,
on the
there's-
YouTube channel and then on the Twitter spheres and on the Twitch channel, so people can catch those. Right.
Yep.
Sweet. But I think that's it, right? So
Yep.
I guess I'm gonna.
All right,
turn off the
guys.
stream. Everybody, goodbye.